I have spent the last 5+ years feeling completely at ease around food, no binging, no using food for comfort. Food is really the simplest part of my day. It's not something that I think about all day. It's easy, it's effortless. And it obviously hasn't always been this way for me. But I want to share a story with you because I almost didn't get to this point. I almost let fear and doubt get in the way of me actually conquering. So I remember one day I was living at my parents' house. This was in 2019, very early on, January of 2019. And I remember I was living at my parents' house at the time. And I was sitting on my parents' couch. And I had this moment where I said to myself, I am done with binge eating. Now, I've had moments, of course, prior where I was like, I'm never going to binge again. That's never going to happen again, right? Of course, like after every single binge, you're like, I'm never, ever, ever going to do that again. But this time felt a little bit more serious. Like I was fired up. I was ready to like really make a change in my life. I was really ready to do things differently, to get support because I tried on my own for a while and I knew that diets weren't the answer. Intermittent fasting wasn't the answer. Tracking my food obviously just made binges worse. Like I knew that I needed support and I knew that, don't give in to your urges. But even when I intellectually knew, okay, Lorna, don't give in to your urges, I just still gave in because I didn't know what to do. Like they just felt so strong. It's like I would feel an urge to binge and I'm like, well, I have to give in because it's just so uncomfortable. And so I knew I needed support, but not just needed support, I desired support. I wanted to work with someone who got me, who's been through this, that can show me the path. Because I'm a firm believer if somebody has walked through a path that I am now on, and they are on the other side, no longer struggling with something that I'm still struggling with, like they've overcome it, they've been in my shoes, but they're no longer in that place anymore. I want to learn from them. Like, tell me your wisdom, tell me your knowledge. Like, I want to work with you. I want to know the path. Like, what are the steps that you took? What were the mindset shifts? What were the tools that you used to stop feeling so impulsive? What were the tools that you used to stop having these crazy food thoughts? Like, what was your process? And so I sent over a message to a coach on Instagram, and it was like literally like this long paragraph. And I said, like, I'm ready to do this. It's a top priority for myself. I want to do this for myself, for my future family. And I remember saying to this coach at the time, I knew so much about health and fitness. At the time, I was a personal trainer, I was a health coach. I remember telling this coach, I'm like, I know so much about health, nutrition. I love eating healthy. I love working out. And I just cannot understand for the life of me why I'm still binging, why I keep sabotaging. I can literally eat super healthy all day and then I just am mindlessly snacking in the evenings. I'm not even hungry. I'm not even hungry. It's so habitual. It's like I get home from work, I drop my bags off, and I just go straight into the pantry. Doesn't matter what time it was. It was like the evenings were a challenge for me. My urges were so freaking demanding and persistent and strong. And so I didn't want to figure out how to do it on my own. I was exhausted. And like I said, if I can do something more efficiently, if I can have someone in my corner who gets me, who understands me, like I am freaking all in. It's the most no-brainer decision. So I sent that message on the couch. And we're laying down on my parents' couch, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm ready. Like, tell me about your program. I'm ready to do this. I did my research, and I was like, okay, this person gets me. I resonate with their story. I resonate with their journey. They can help me. They've overcome it. I don't want to work with someone that's never gone through binge eating, because I've tried that route, and then trying to explain binge eating to them, that's exhausting in and of itself. So I sent this message one night in the evening. And so this person didn't respond right away. And something happened. Now, of course, when I sent the message, my binges were extra strong that week. My urges were more demanding that week. And of course, like when you're in the thick of it, right? Like when you're in the midst of a struggle, or, urges are stronger, mindless snacking is stronger, maybe you're feeling even more uncomfortable in your own skin, like that, it's very common for you to be more fired up and motivated to make a shift and make a change. And so this mentor didn't respond back to me that evening. It was pretty late at night because, again, all my mindless snacking, overeating binges typically happen in the evening. And so I woke up the next morning, and what happened was I felt fine. I was like, I don't need support. I didn't have a strong urge when I woke up. I felt motivated. I felt determined. I was like, I can do this on my own. And I said to myself, I was trying to convince myself of a few things. I'm like, if you just try a little bit harder, maybe, just motivate yourself a little bit more, like you can do this, like you can overcome binging, you can do this on your own. And I was trying to convince myself that maybe my situation wasn't as bad. I didn't have any crazy health issues. I was kind of convincing myself, maybe your situation isn't really that bad. You have some good days with food, so like maybe you don't actually need support. Like maybe you can just try to figure out how to do this on your own. How many of you have thought this before? Like, I can do this on my own. Just try harder. Just be more motivated. You've got this. Just don't sabotage yourself. And that was very, 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 very short-lived, because shortly after, boom, another urge popped up. Shortly after, I swear it was like the next day, again, mindless snacking, come the evenings. Food thoughts were flooding my mind again. And so I realized that it was normal to have ebbs and flows. Of course, you're going to have days where you feel good. You don't have strong urges to binge. Then, of course, there's going to be days that urges are stronger unless you actually rewire your brain. You eliminate your urges. You actually do the work to heal your relationship with food. Motivation is not going to prevent you from snacking in the evening. Telling I can do this is not going to stop you from giving in. I was actually having a conversation with a client inside of my academy this week, and she said, I think I have been trying to think my way out of a binge. And that's so exhausting. And I said, yeah, you can't tell yourself to not binge. You can't motivate yourself to not binge, especially when you've already decided in your mind, I'm coming home and I'm putting on the TV and I'm just chilling the heck out and I'm going to eat. You can't flip a switch and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm actually not going to do that. You've already decided. So you can't think your way out of a binge. Like, you actually need proper brain-based tools. You got to reprogram your brain. Binging is a habit. Mindless snacking, overeating, it's all habitual. You actually need to do something different if you want a different result. And so I said to myself, I don't want to have some good days with food. I don't want to be on high alert, wondering, like, am I going to mindlessly snack tonight? I don't want to have to worry about, you know, should I bake chocolate chip cookies? Okay, I really feel like chocolate chip cookies, but like, what if I spiral? Okay, maybe I shouldn't. I don't want to have to worry if I'm home alone to be like, am I going to sabotage myself? I didn't want to wake up some days and feel really good in my own skin, and then other days I didn't feel good. Like, I wanted to feel good in my own skin all the time. I wanted ease around food. I didn't want to be thinking about food all the time. I didn't want to, put in so much work and eat super healthy and do these workouts and then sabotage by mindlessly snacking in the evening. I wanted my urges gone. I wanted a peaceful relationship with food. And even beyond food, I wanted to fall in love with myself. I didn't have that. Growing up, I was this perfectionist. I was so hard on myself. Everything needs to be so perfect. Oh, you don't look like her. You just have to be like this perfect human being. And so I was like, I don't want to just have a healthy relationship with food. I want to fall in love with myself. I want to feel calm and grounded throughout the day because I was snappy, I was irritable, and I just wanted to feel calm, grounded, present. You know those people, maybe you have people in your life and they're just like so chill. And you're like, why isn't this bugging you? Like, aren't you gonna freak out? And they're just like so chill and so calm. And I'm like, I want to be that person. So I decided to go all in and fully commit to getting support. I got the highest level of support. I went all in long term. Even when I had a thought in my mind, maybe you can do this on your own. Yeah, sure you can. It's going to take a shit ton of work and a lot longer. Sure, there's going to be fear, but that doesn't mean don't do it. Sure, you might doubt yourself, but that doesn't mean don't do it. And I said to myself, like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going all in. I don't let fear stop me. I don't let doubt stop me. Sure, I had a thought pop up, maybe I can do this on my own, but that's really fear in disguise. It's fear in disguise, because what if I actually do this and I put in the work and it doesn't work? People have fear. I had fear. But not even just at the beginning, even throughout the journey, I had so many moments where I said to myself, like, can I actually do this? Is it going to work for me? Maybe I'm the exception. At the time, I also had gut issues. I had inflammation, bloating, gut issues, and I was like, well, maybe like this won't work for me. Maybe I'm the exception. Maybe I'm just going to continue having crazy food thoughts. I didn't want to be like other people, like food freedom. Like, I didn't want to be eating whatever I wanted. I still really cared about my health. I wanted to take good care of myself. I wanted to live a long life. I wanted to eat high quality foods. And I said, I don't know, like, can I still do that? Is this for me? Like, can I still prioritize my health? And there was a part of me that also even thought, like, do I even want to give this up? Because as much as I hated binge eating, I also liked it at the same time. And I had this thought, like, I don't know, maybe I don't want to give it up because it's literally like the one thing that gives me pleasure, especially at the end of the day. Like, it's something to look forward to. Do I want to actually give that up? And in those moments, man, oh man, was I ever freaking glad that I had a mentor to talk through these thoughts, to talk through the doubt, to talk through the fear. Because these are all normal thoughts. But when you are trying to go down this road and trying to figure out how to do this on your own, and you have this thought, you think you're crazy. You think you're the exception. You only feel like the exception when you're like doing this on your own. You're like hiding this until you actually are speaking to someone who's gone through it with lived experience, and they're like, I had that thought so many times on my journey. And you're plugged into a community, and then this person says, you know what, I actually had that thought last week. And you're like, thank God I'm not crazy. Thank God I'm not crazy. Okay, I feel more seen. I feel like I belong here. Okay, that makes sense. And then you see someone else who's gone a month without binge eating. You see someone who is also still prioritizing their health and their fitness and eating foods that, make them feel their best, and they're still feeling really good in their own skin, and they're healing their relationship with food. Okay, well then maybe I can do that as well too. And it shows you what's actually possible. So I'm so glad that I had mentorship with someone who's walked this path before to say, I've also had those same thoughts. I'm so glad that I was plugged into a community of other people who said, I actually are thinking those same thoughts. Like, I see you. I actually had that thought last week. Because what ended up happening was the doubt and the fear still creeps up. But the doubt and the fear lessened very quickly. Anytime I had a fear, anytime I had a doubt, and I would hear somebody say, I also had that fear, and I worked through it, and I've actually gone 3 months without binge eating. I'm like, okay, the fear turned into excitement. I started to get excited. I was like, whoo. I started to actually believe in this process, believe in myself, believe in this journey. So I am binge free today because I got the right support from someone who's been through this. I leaned into the fear. Fear doesn't mean don't do it. Fear means it's important for you, so go. I committed long term. If I wanted to do things sustainably, like I said, I was not interested. I wasn't interested in having a month where I didn't binge, a month where I didn't mindlessly snack, and then old habits would surface. The moment that I got stressed, I'd be back into the pantry. I didn't want that. I didn't want to feel good in my own skin a week before going on vacation or a week before a wedding and then feel like crap for months and months and months and then feel like I had to restart again. Like, I didn't want that. I wanted to do things sustainably. I wanted to eat like a normal person. I wanted to feel really good in my own skin because who doesn't want to feel good in their own skin? I was not interested in a binge-free month. I wanted to no longer binge. I wasn't interested in having a few good weeks with food and then sabotaging. That is exhausting, that cycle. I wanted to be free. At the time, Andrew and I weren't thinking about starting a family. This was 2019, but I thought to myself, like, one day when we have a family, I want to be the best example to my children. I want to lead them. I want to show them what a healthy relationship with food looks like. And at the time, I couldn't because I didn't have a healthy relationship with food. So I did this for me. I did this for my future family. I got the right support. I did things sustainably. I committed long term because if you want to sustain something, you have to do things properly. I'm not talking about commit for 30 days, commit for a month. 6 months is not a long time to work on your relationship with food, considering the fact that maybe you've spent 10 years dieting, restricting, having crazy food thoughts. So I am free today because even when I had fear and I had doubt and I thought maybe I can do this on my own, I didn't let those thoughts win. I got the right support. I committed long term. I showed up for myself. This is really why I created my academy. Because I know how important support is. Working with a mentor in close proximity that can show you the exact tools, strategies, mindset shifts that you need to overcome binge eating. Because again, the fear is going to be there. And I can also be there to shift the fear within moments. One of my clients says, you're really good at turning fear into excitement. Yes, because I had fear, and I know that what I did to shift my fear into getting excited. You see, this is why getting support from somebody who's gone through the path, the journey that you're on right now is so valuable, because it's like my clients will say something to me like, oh, I had this thought. And I'm like, I had that thought too. Here's a different thought to think instead. Oh, my clients will come to me, I got super triggered when I looked at myself in the mirror. Oh, I saw a bad angle. And now I just want to say F it and just overeat. And I know exactly how to support them. So inside of the academy, this is personalized mentorship, personalized coaching in a very small group, where I help you work through your binge eating, your overeating, your emotional eating, your mindless snacking. Whether it's nighttime mindless snacking, whether it's binge eating, whether it's overeating, body image, there's an entire portal of training. So the first thing is you actually have to know what to do, right? Because if you don't actually know what to do, then you're just like banging your head against the wall, and you're like, maybe you're trying to think your way out of a binge. You're trying to motivate yourself to not give in, and that's not going to be a sustainable solution. Because sure, maybe you don't give in today, but then an urge pops up tomorrow. What are you going to do? You're going to try to motivate yourself to not give in, and that's the exhausting cycle. So there's an entire portal of trainings where you learn my root and rewire process, help you get to the root of your binge eating. You rewire your brain to eliminate your urges. There's trainings on everything you could imagine: how to stop thinking about food 24/7, how to stop mindless snacking, how to stop nighttime eating, how to heal your body image so you can actually feel incredible in your own skin, how to turn your binge-free days and weeks into a sustainable binge-free year and beyond, without sabotaging, without the all or nothing mentality, without thinking, is this too good to be true? Is this gonna last? You have an entire portal of trainings. But just knowing the information is not enough. You need guidance, because there's gonna be questions. So every week we hop on Zoom. This is where I will personally coach you through whatever it is that you need support with. One of my clients came up and she's like, nighttime snacking is still a struggle for me. Okay, so then I can support her. Here's what to implement so that you're not sabotaging your progress come the evening. I had another one of my clients, dried mangoes were like a massive trigger for her. And I actually did an interview with her. Her name's Christine, and she literally used to buy a big bag of dried mangoes at Costco and finish them within 3 days. And she's had them in her cupboard for the past 8 months, no desire to eat them. So whatever it is that you need support with, this is the best part about the academy. It's all personalized mentorship and coaching. Whatever you need support with, I'm there to guide you. Maybe you're like, okay, I have some clients that are like, I'm not like crazily binging anymore, but I'm overeating. Like I'm leaving my meals feeling overly full. Okay, here's what to do. Some of my clients are like, as soon as they do well for a week, they end up sabotaging. They're like, why does this happen? Well, there's limiting beliefs. There's actually fear of conquering. There's a love-hate relationship with food. Lorna, I'm not restricting anymore. So like, why am I still thinking about food? Why am I still mindlessly snacking? And then I look at their day and there's no pleasure. You have an unhealthy relationship with rest. You are literally go, go, go all the time. You're giving to other people. You're not pouring into your own self. So we have to work through this personalized coaching and mentorship every single week. You have clarity. You know exactly what to do. There's no second guessing. There's not like, oh no, I don't know how to navigate this situation, because you also get support throughout the week. This is actually the only program that I offer where you get in the moment support and coaching from me. So throughout the week, you don't even have to wait until our weekly call. If it's, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, I don't know whether this is like an urge, a craving, if I'm just bored, like how do I know? I'll be there to support you. If you have an event coming up this weekend, maybe it's a social event, and maybe social events are a little bit of a challenge for you. Maybe you always leave there like feeling FOMO if you don't have dessert. So you have dessert even though you're not even hungry and you don't even want it. I'll be there to actually help you prepare for the social event come the weekend, so you can walk into the social event with so much confidence of the game plan, so you can leave feeling confident, you're present with your family, not overly full and bloated. And my clients find this so helpful because there's going to be things that pop up throughout the week. So that's what we work on. You have the portal. We have our weekly calls. You have access to message me throughout the week. So there's literally never any second guessing. And, this is something that, again, it's in depth, right? It's comprehensive. We do monthly breathwork sessions. So many of my clients come to me and they're like, I just want to feel calm and grounded. Breath work is the most powerful tool to not help you just become less impulsive with food, to shift your limiting beliefs, to feel more calm or grounded throughout the day so you're less snappy with your children. This is literally everything that you need. Like the academy is everything that you need to not just stop binge eating, but stay binge free for life. Why? Because of the personalized coaching. You're getting exactly what you need, all the trainings. You have my support. This is not just like, watch this training and figure it out. It's like you have me in your back pocket. You have me in your back pocket. There's never any second guessing. You know exactly what to do. This is the strategy that you need to implement. When you think this thought, I want you to think this thought instead. Which is why my clients, you see my clients, I talk about my clients all the time in the academy. I had a client that messaged me who graduated the academy. She messaged me, I have not binged still, and it's been 1 year and 4 months. Why? She came on to our coaching calls. She watched the training. She implemented my root and rewire process. Once you rewire your brain, your urges don't pop up anymore. And this is why my clients, and I feel so confident, I will never binge again. My clients feel so confident because you see how that's so different than like, I'm going to try to not binge tonight. It's like, well, good luck because you might or you might not, depending on maybe how you're feeling that day. Versus rewiring your brain and no longer having an urge pop up. There's never a lack of confidence that you can't sustain this. You'll feel so confident that you can travel the world, you can bake, you can be home alone late at night and you still won't binge. That is actual freedom. So it's normal to think I can do this on my own. I actually had a client that I'm working with and she said, I'm such an independent person. And she actually messaged me and then kind of ghosted me a little bit, which is normal. I ghosted my mentor and she just didn't message me for a few months because she thought maybe I can do this on my own. And that's very common. She's a very independent person. She wants to do things herself. I thought the exact same thing as well too, but conquering binge eating is so different. You can do a lot of things on your own, but you have to rewire your brain. Like there's specific brain-based tools that you have to implement. You have to shift the way that you're seeing food. There's different tools you have to use to feel less impulsive. You might think I know so much about health and nutrition, but it's not the same. I knew so much about health and nutrition, but I was still binge eating because what you have to do to work on your health and your fitness is way different than what you need to do to stop binge eating. So even when you're the most independent person, you're successful. I have a lot of clients that I work with that are so successful in so many areas of their life. Great marriage, great family, great relationship, great career. And they're struggling with binge eating and they think I should be able to figure this out. No, because it's not the same. Right? It's different, but because of who you are going to conquer because you're someone who's willing and ready to change. You're ready to do this for yourself, for your family, like that client who ghosted me. Now she's working with me. She committed to working with me long term. And her life has completely transformed. We've been working together for just over a month now. She's more calm and more grounded. She's releasing her tight grip of control. She's not expecting everything to go as planned anymore. She's like, I don't really have urges anymore. And it's she just dove into a few of the trainings. We've been doing the personalized coaching together, and this is what happens. So the academy, I called it your binge-free life Because when you work with me inside the academy, this is personalized coaching in a very small group. I get to know you. I get to know your situation. You know exactly what to do. Regardless if you're having strong urges, maybe you're doing some emotional eating, I've got your back. No more second guessing. You've got the community to never feel alone. When fear or doubt creeps in, you plug into the community. They're like, I'm thinking the same thoughts. You feel less alone. The fear turns into excitement. You're like, I can freaking do this. You see someone else who's like, honestly, I just went out for dinner and I ordered my favorite sweet potato fries and I left some on the plate and it wasn't even a big deal. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe I can do that as well too. This person went to a social event. Her mom was making pizza. She really didn't want pizza. She wanted a salad, and she leaned into the bravery to say, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm going to have a salad. And then someone else is like, okay, I'm going to have the courage to speak up for myself at the next social event that I go to. And it becomes this fun process where you actually believe what's possible. You believe, I can do this. Conquering binge eating is so much easier than you think, especially when you have me as your mentor, someone who's gone through this process that can guide you every single step of the way. So the academy, it's 6 months. Personalized coaching, personalized mentorship in a small group. You want to do things sustainably. This is not for you if you're looking for a quick fix. If you want to just have like a month binge free and then revert back to old habits. If you're not willing to put in the work, like if you are someone who's eager, you're ready, you're fired up, you're like, I am so done with binge eating. I'm ready to do this. I only want to work with someone who's gone through this because I know you understand me. I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to do this. I'm open. I am so committed. Like, I want to work with you in close proximity. I want to have my questions answered. I had a client that came in and she's like, I wanted to join the academy because I have questions. Like, I want to be able to ask my specific questions. If you don't want to have to wait a month, or like even a week, it's like you just have my direct support. Then the academy is for you. We do things sustainably here. You rewire your brain using my root and rewire process, which is why you can sustain binge-free years effortlessly. Effortlessly. Like, it actually doesn't have to be challenging. Where are you telling yourself it has to be hard? It only feels hard right now because you're trying to do this on your own, or you're trying to motivate yourself. You're trying to think your way out of a binge instead of having tools so you don't even feel an urge to binge pop up. That's real freedom. So I'm enrolling in the academy right now. If you feel the pull, you can message me, academy. Just literally message me the word academy and I'll share all the details with you. We can make sure that it's a perfect fit. But this is really the level of support that I got when I was conquering binge eating. And I'm so glad that I had a mentor like by my side, in my back pocket, weekly support. Like, I didn't have to try to figure out what to do. It's like I knew exactly what was going to be best for me, my situation with wanting health and fitness goals and also having gut issues and, struggling with nighttime eating and my urges. Like, my mentor got me, and that's what I will do for you inside as well too. So message me the word academy. It is normal to have fear. Every single person that comes to work with me, there's a little bit of fear, of course. Like, you're going to have excitement, but of course there's going to be fear, like, holy moly, because you've probably never done this before. It's important for you. So don't let fear get in the way. I had fear. My clients that come to me have fear, but fear doesn't mean don't do it. Fear means go, right? And so if there is fear, it's normal. If you're thinking, I don't know if this is going to work for me, or like, oh, I don't know. I had those same thoughts too, but I didn't let that stop me. I've got you. I've got your back. It is so much closer than you realize. I always tell my clients, I'm like, I wish I can just teleport you to being binge free so you can actually see how simple this process can be with the right support, the proper community. Implementing these tools, you're gonna literally be so mind blown what you can accomplish. So I'm fired up. I'm so excited. We had someone recently join the academy, and it's just an incredible sisterhood. It's very small, intimate group, close proximity, personalized coaching with me, where I help you become binge free for the rest of your life. This is not like binge free for a month, binge free for 2 months. This is like we do things sustainably here. So message me, Academy. I'll share all the details. I'm so fired up. I'm so excited. I know what's possible for you inside of this program, and everything's going to shift for you. So I'm so excited to see you inside. Have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys. Okay, bye.